In this video tutorial, I'm going to talk about A1 CELT GESE Grade 2 Trinity College London exam. And the video is about questions and answers that can be asked in the test. I have already made a couple of videos on A1 test, and if you haven't watched them, you could please watch them. Most of those videos are about the technical side of the test, means how long is the test and who is it for, and at the same time what type of language is expected, and I mean those sort of things. This video is mostly focused on questions and answers. I'll explain what kind of questions are asked in the test and what kind of answers you are expected to give them. But at the same time, I will definitely introduce very briefly about the test and who needs this test and how long is the test. All right, so let us start and see what is this test about. Okay, the source is Trinity College London website, which is obviously the Home Office approved website, and the organization, so you don't have to worry about the sources and the materials. Okay, this test is for those people who are applying for further leave to remain, which is FLR, and that means either as a family partner or as a family parent. Okay, so I'll explain it in a bit more detail in a second. If you are applying for a tier 2 sports person visa, then you need an A1 test, or if you're a representative of an overseas business visa, then you also need A1 test. Now, what is an A1 test? It is a speaking and listening test, which is equivalent to CEFR of the European framework. And I mean, these are technical things. You don't have to worry about that. Its name is GESE Grade 2 exam, CEFR A1. Okay, don't worry about that. Now come back to this one. If you are applying for a spouse visa, then you need an A1 test. Okay, so A1 test gives you 2.5 years or 27 months time. Once you are done with that, you need an extension of the spouse visa, and for that you will do A2, which is one level higher to A1. Okay, so that is one thing. If you are a parent of somebody who is settled here or living here, then and you want to join them, or you want to come them, or you want to bring your parent here, then they need this thing. Okay, so this is a very brief introduction of what is A1. Very simple test, I tell you. You don't have to worry at all about this test. Okay, what is the exam like? This is a 6 minutes face-to-face speaking and listening exam. No writing involved at all. Conversation between you and the examiner. Okay, so what happens on the day of the test? The examiner welcomes you and then asks you questions about yourself and some simple topics. But before that, the examiner will check your photo ID first and then start the exam. Okay, so you enter the room, you show the examiner your photo ID, and after that the test begins. Almost for 6 minutes you are with the examiner, and then the test obviously ends. Okay, now so this is our main focus for today. Okay, what happens before the test, what happens after the test, you can watch my other videos. I have explained in detail. Okay, so here are some of the questions that can be asked during the exam. So once IDs and everything are checked, then the examiner will say, what is your name? Okay, so you have to answer excuse me, in full sentences. Okay, so this is the key. This is very important. If you answer in full sentences, you will definitely pass. What is your name? My name is, and then you can tell your name. How are you today? Okay, so obviously very simple answer, very simple question. I am very well, thank you, or I am fine, thank you, as you like. How is the day today? Okay, how is the day today is a question about the weather actually. So, or sometimes the examiner will ask you, what is the weather like today? Then you can say it is a very beautiful sunny day, or it's cloudy, or it's windy. Whatever the situation is, you have to tell that. Okay, one simple sentence will be okay. What day is it today? So that means whether today is Monday or Friday or whatever day it is. So you could say today is Friday, today is Sunday, today is Monday, whatever the day it is. Okay, what day is it tomorrow? Okay, so for example, you said today is Friday, then obviously tomorrow would be Saturday. So you could say tomorrow is Saturday. Okay, next he will ask you a question about the month, what month it is. Okay, so you could say this is March, or whatever month it is when you are doing exam. Next is what is your birthday, or simply when is your birthday. Now this question you need to understand that when somebody asks you about your birthday, you just tell the day and the month, not the year. For example, your birthday is on 25th of March 1990, let's say. Okay, so if somebody says what's your birthday, you would say my birthday is on 25th of March. Okay, and if somebody asks you when is your, oh sorry, what is your date of birth, then you have to answer full. You could say my date of birth is 25th of March 1990. Okay, that's how you do it. Right, the next set of questions. What about your family? Okay, so this question is about, the examiner is asking to tell him or her more about your family. So you could say my family, I have 5 members in my family, I have 3 members in my family, mom and dad, or whatever. Okay, sometimes they will mix this question together. What about your family? Do you have any brothers and sisters? So you could say yes, I have brothers and sisters. If you don't have any of them, you could say no, I just have sisters, I don't have any brother, or I only have brothers, I don't have any sister. Okay, so you could say, or if you have both, you could say I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. This is obviously depending upon your situation. How old are your brothers or sisters? So you could say my brother is 20, my sister is 15, my brothers are 15 and 20, or my sisters are 20 and 25. Do they live in? So after in, I have left the space, which means that they would ask about the country they live in. Okay, so for example, do they live in your country, whatever your country is? So you could say yes, they live in my country, they live in whatever country you can say. Do they live in a big house? If they live in a big house, you will say yes, they live in a big house. If they don't, you could say no, it's a medium house, it's not that big, or they live in a small house. These are some of the options. Where in the UK do you live? Okay, so you could say I live in London, if you live in London. If you live in some other place, then you could say I live in Bradford, I live in Scotland, I live in Manchester, wherever you want to say. Do you live in a flat or a house? Okay, so I live in a flat, I live in a house. That's the right answer. Okay, depending on where you live. Tell me about your house or flat. So this is where you have to tell a bit more detail. For example, you could say, well, my house is a 2-bedroom house, and it has a beautiful garden, and we have a driveway as well. Okay, and there are 2 toilets, 1 kitchen, and it's a very nice big house. Okay, if you live in a flat, you could say I live in a flat, which is 2-bedroom flat or 1-bedroom flat, whatever you want to say. Unfortunately, there's no garden, but we have a car parking place or driveway. Okay, tell me about your house or flat. This is how you answer it. How many rooms do you have in your flat or house? Sometimes they talk about rooms. I have 3 rooms in my house, or we have 3 rooms in our house or in our flat, whatever is. Next, what do you have in your living room? Okay, so this is the type of question they normally ask. Living room or bedroom sometimes. Okay, or they would ask you, can you tell me what is in your kitchen? So you can, they are asking about different items. For example, living room, so we have sofas, we have a nice big TV, We have two windows in our living room. We have a huge carpet in our room. Okay, so whatever it is in your living room, we have a computer in our room. Okay, so do you have a computer? Or sometimes they can ask, do you have a laptop? Do you have a TV? So you can say, yes, I have a computer. Where it is? It means that where it is in your house. So you could say it is next to the window, it is in the living room, it is in my bedroom. What is next to your computer? Okay, so you could say many things depending on what is next to. You could say next to the computer I have my books, or next to the computer I have my I don't know, table lamp, or probably my wardrobe, or whatever. Okay, next is, what is the name of your best friend? The name of my best friend is this. Okay, so you have to tell the name. Tell me about your friend. So for example, if your friend is a boy, so you could say my friend is a very nice, kind person. He is from my country, or he lives in London. We go to same school, and we play football together, and he's my best friend. He's very, very helpful. Okay, you don't have to say these many sentences, but obviously I gave you many sentences, many options, so you can choose whatever you like. If your friend is a girl, then you could say my friend's name is, let's say, Sarah, or whatever. She is a beautiful girl, and she's my class fellow as well. She lives next door to me. Okay, is she or he tall? Sometimes they ask you, yes, she's very tall, or yes, he's very tall. What about his hair, long or short? So if it is a girl, then mostly they ask about hair color and color of eyes. So I will explain it to you like that. Yeah, she has long hair, and she has blue eyes. She is tall, and she is very beautiful. If it is a boy, then you could say, yeah, he has short hair, he has brown or dark or black hair, and he has green eyes. Okay, he is short, he is tall. Okay, now, so these are some of the questions that the examiner will ask you without showing you anything. So at this point, the examiner will show you some pictures and asks you questions about them. Now, these questions would be on a piece of paper, 5 or 6 pictures, depends. Okay, now he will point towards a picture, or he will put the pictures in front of you, and he would point towards the picture and say, okay, is he singing? So there would be some pictures, and some people would be doing things in those pictures, and he will point to one picture and he says, is he singing? Now if somebody is singing, you could say yes, he's singing, or if he's not singing, then you can say no, he's not singing. So for example, the picture that he points is the person who is cooking something, then you could say no, he's not singing, he's cooking. All right, so either you could say no, he's not singing, the answer is correct, or you could say no, he is cooking, that's fine too. Is she singing? And if she's, let's say, driving, then you could say no, she's not singing, she's driving. Is he wearing a coat? Yes, he's wearing a coat. Is he driving a car? No, he is cooking, he is writing, or he's dancing. Okay, what is he doing? Normally they don't ask question with what, but I mean, it's not very difficult. You could say he's driving, he's writing, whatever. Okay, right. So there was that was a two-step process. First, the examiner asked you questions without any pictures. Then the second thing is that examiner gives you shows you some pictures and asks you questions. So after that, now it is your turn to ask the examiner some questions. One question at least, it is a must. Okay, the examiner will ask you to ask him or her a question, and it is a must. You must ask one question if you have to pass. Okay, here are some questions. You could say you could see here, And I mean, these are just to give you some idea what kind of questions you can ask, but I mean, obviously you can ask whatever you like. There's no restriction. Okay, so for example, you can ask the examiner, what time did you get up this morning? Or what is your favorite food? Or who is your best friend? Or do you work full-time or part-time? Okay, so these are just 4 examples of questions. So after this, the exam is technically finished. Okay, but you have to ask questions, and also it is not important to ask questions at the end or when the examiner asks you. You can ask him anytime. Okay, during the exam, in the beginning, in the middle, in the after, whatever. Okay, so that was it. You might have seen that this is not a very difficult exam. So be careful about what you say, listen carefully, and answer in a simple sentence. Okay, 1 or 2 sentences would be fine. But if you find that speaking too much is problem, then at least one good simple sentence, one good full sentence will definitely pass you. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the best. Good luck to you. If you have any questions, do let me know, and I'll try my best. All right, thank you. Bye.